All right, so far 2012 has gotten off to a violent start in the port city, and over these first few months of the year we've reported on a number of violent crimes, and we're talking anything from robberies to shootings.
And one of the most recent ones was a violent robbery last Friday night that left a Mobile police officer fighting for his life. Throughout many of these crimes we found one thing in common, and that's the age of the suspects. Many of them are young. We're talking about 18 or 19. So we wanted to know what officials with the Strickland Youth Center have to say about young crime.
So new tonight at 9, Fox News reporter Candace Murphy is sitting down with Juvie Judge Edmund Naiman to find out what he thinks about the recent wave of young offenders and crime.
Since the beginning of this year, Fox 10 has reported multiple instances where teens have been the suspects or victims of violent crimes.
There's some real violence that is going on in this community. There's no doubt about it. We can't ignore it. You know, when we ignore it, it just sort of blows up.
Judge Naiman says teens are committing violent acts because they don't have guidance.
Acts like this are usually committed by young people that have nothing to lose. There's whatever sense of hopelessness. And when you don't have hope for the future, you don't mind taking the future away from someone else, do you?
And how we bring hope to young people is important.
We've got to take our resources that we have in this community and use them better and smarter.
Judge Naiman says Strickland Youth Center has good programs in place, but he needs your help and the community's support.
It is incumbent on us as a community that we must ask our schools and our courts and our law enforcement and everyone, but most especially our parents, that we have got to raise our children. We have got to demand that they get the education that they deserve.
He says a lot of the solution begins at home, and when parents in the community are absent, the results aren't good.
We will put you in jail if it takes putting you in jail to get you to do right by your child, because I am not going to shy away from that.
Naiman says all programs need to be proactive and reactive to crimes.
After we see something like this and we say, what could we have done, or what indicators were there out there that we could have picked up on?
But what happens when a juvenile becomes an adult and continues to commit crimes?
I don't think the adult system really spends as much time with the kid. Once we lose them at 18, and we do lose them, we lose jurisdiction, there's very little oversight with these young people until they can do something very, very serious.
Naiman says judges who deal with adults have access to juvenile records upon request.
I think we need to communicate that better to law enforcement and to the courts and to the district attorneys that, hey, you know, this is a young person that has been given every opportunity, and youthful offender probably should not be granted.
Judge Naiman says the good news is juvenile crime has drastically decreased in the past 3 years, and with help from people like you investing in children's lives, there will be positive results. Reporting in Mobile, Candace Murphy, Fox 10 News.
Judge Naiman says 92% of the kids who go to Strickland Youth Center for criminal charges come from homes where there's no significant parent figure. So if you want to help put a dent in crime, you can call the Strickland Youth Center to volunteer.